Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. We're going to start off with some Red Wings on this fine Tuesday morning. Entering tonight's game, the Wings have lost 3 straight games, but despite the losses, they do gain one of, or if not, their best player, Tyler Bertuzzi, tonight. He was out with COVID-19 after testing positive on December 1st. So if they can find something comforting about being on the home ice, it's that the recent 5 games, they had a 5-game winning streak. 4 of the 5 games were in Detroit, and then 3 of the next 4 games are also at home. And then last night it came out that they extended Fabry to a 3-year, $12 million contract. So lots to look forward to.
All right, I'm going to correct you.
What?
Because that sounds like you're saying Febreze.
Febreze?
It's Fabry.
Fabry.
Yeah, not Fabry.
Oh, sorry, I ran
We're
it
not
all together.
French like you, where we it comes off the tongue like that. Fabry.
Fabry.
No,
Fabry.
Thank you.
Sounds ugly.
Listen,
I like it
Montana,
how I said it better.
You gotta tighten up your English. All right.
This
Relax.
is coming from the one that says, what does he always say? What's the name you always mess
Mika.
up? Oh, yeah, Mika Parsons.
Mika.
Yeah, Mika Parsons.
Listen,
Mika Parsons.
where's his translator or person that says, hey, this is how you correctly say his name, all right?
Google
Listen,
it, ding ding.
I got it wrong for a few weeks. I fixed it. Listen, you can make mistakes.
Okay,
don't make them,
I'll say it more American. Fabry.
There you go. I want a little country next time.
Okay.
All right. Wings locked up Fabry last night, just like Kennedy said. 3-year extension. Didn't we trade, who was it? Lacoste, I think, or I forget who they traded for Fabry, but I mean, Yzerman's just made so many good decisions and so many good deals.
Yeah.
And I hope this. Look, let me focus on the Wings before I kind of deviate with my point, but I don't think anybody expected them to be a point out in the playoff race. But if you really look, Boston has 4 games up on Detroit, and they're a point ahead of Detroit. Detroit's not really a playoff contender. It's nice to see, but they're really not. And if they turn on the Jets and they win 8 out of the next 12, or they win 20 out of the next, 32, 33, well, then you got to look at them and be like, oh, okay, they're probably a playoff team. They look legitimate. But 1, it's way too early. And 2, you're kind of just in the moment of they look good again. They're fun to watch. And Steve Yzerman's at the helm. And I'm willing as a fan to be patient because I can trust the guy that's in the front office. He has a proven track record. He's a legend, former captain, Stanley Cup champion, etc., etc. The list goes on. That's why people are so behind it. And I think it's funny. Steve Yzerman, when he came back to Detroit, and you really look at the last few years and what he's done, he's reminded Detroit sports fans just how important it is, and why it's so important to have the right leadership in place. And this can apply not just in sports teams. You can apply this to any company you work for. You can apply it at your own company that you work for, or maybe you run a company. This is why leadership is important. Because when you nail the leadership group and they're making constant and continuous correct decisions day in and day out, week in and week out, month to month, quarter to quarter, you will be in a position to succeed long-term as a company, business, sports team, whatever it may be. And when you have a guy like Steve Yzerman that can just walk in, immediately change the culture, and I don't want to say just the culture, but the feeling in the room. Now there's a pip in the step. There's confidence as a Red Wings fan. You're like, we're going to be there. Watch out. Don't worry. Yeah, we'll probably finish 10th or 11th. Who knows? Watch out, guys. Next year, maybe making a push. 2-3 years from now, who knows? Maybe in the conference final. Dare I say Stanley Cup. Guys, we've seen this with the Tampa Bay Lightning. And the fact that the Red Wings are in this type of position, as somebody that has to talk about sports every day, I am extremely blessed that I get to talk about the Detroit Red Wings now. And I wish we would have been doing this years ago, too, when they were really bad. But Steve Yzerman was at the helm, because I would be reiterating the same confidence. When you nail the front office and leadership, everything falls into place so much easier. And fans will go to the games and be so much more confident and so much more happy and willing to be a part of the process. Willing to say, you know what, we may struggle this year. We may struggle next year. But I know for damn certain that the guy leading this team and this franchise is going to get me where I, as a sports fan, want to be 3-4 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Hinch is hired in Detroit with the Tigers. The Illiches are now, I don't want to say revered, but you're kind of like on a respect level with them. Like, yes, this is what we've wanted to see. Good decision making. Al Avila, good decision making. Finally, after 7 years of botching it, but finally, get it right. And now the Tigers are on track to probably compete for a pennant this year. And then you look at the Pistons. The GM looks nice. They nailed the number 1 overall pick. That's all you can ask. He's nailed his first-round picks outside of Killian. Killian is still a wait-and-see development, but you got to see something out of Killian. But still, you can get behind the product because you like what you've been seeing. You like the draft picks, and you see the direction. And then, of course, we get to the Lions. With Brad Holmes, you like the draft picks. And I don't know anybody that can say, well, he hasn't done a good job with his draft picks. They're playing. They're contributing. Mm-hmm. I can sign off on that. I can get behind that. Now, you want to discuss coaching and overall culture and the history of this franchise? That's a whole different conversation. But if we're just talking about front office leadership, it may just look like the Detroit Lions may have gotten it right with Brad Holmes. And if they do, he's got to get 2 more things right to be extremely successful. He's got to get the quarterback right, and he's got to get the head coach right. And that could very well be Dan Campbell. It very well could be. But when you're a GM, if you don't hit on the head coach or the quarterback, 1, you typically don't see success, and 2, you're not there long. So Brad Holmes, I think, understands that. I'm sure there's parts of him that's hoping Dan Campbell is that guy. And if not, he's got to make a tough decision. Mm-hmm. But again, all back to front office, leadership. Who's running the franchise? Who's leading your company? Who's taking you in the direction you want to be going in? Who is giving you that insight, that hope, that feeling of trust where you know this guy behind the scenes? I don't need to hear what's going on in Detroit at LCA with the Red Wings. I don't need to hear it. I trust it. I'm all ears, Steve. What you say goes. I trust it. I don't need to hear little comments, media reports behind the scenes. Not interested. I know what I'm getting. And I think that's the standard. And I think it's really important that Steve and the Red Wings continue to kind of re-educate people on just how important it is to get those positions right. Not only at your franchise or your sports team, but your business as well.
Yeah. And I think, listen, Yzerman, when you have 2 rookies on your team that are top 3 in points, and you know his track record, you know what he brings. And as a Red Wings fan and a guy from Detroit, you understand that the Wings are by far, you got the Tigers in second, but the Pistons, the Lions, Adam just kind of nailed it on the head right there. And that's what's important is you trust where you're going, being a fan of this team. And yes, they're not very good on the road, but sorry to break the news to you. They're a young team, no matter how good they're playing. Not as of late. I think right now they really need improvement on the defensive end, which if you watch these games, you see that. They've allowed 18 goals in the last 3 losses. But that stuff's going to get better, and that's the positive of this. You have a transcendent player. You got Lucas Raymond, Moritz Seider. They're going to, Yzerman in the next draft in free agency is going to address these things, and that's what you can get behind. For the Pistons, for the Lions, you're really just you're holding on for the ride, and you're hoping. Troy Weaver so far he's done a good job, like you just said. Brad Holmes, with Yzerman, he is the light in a lot of dark in the city in terms of sports, and it's just been great to see. this team at home, Larkin kind of alluded to it in the press conference, talking about just the fans being back this year, and they're 9-3-2 at home and 4-9-1 away from LCA, and that's just the reality of it. This team's going to have to learn to win on the road, but just from the result standpoint and what you're seeing as a customer, not even from a fan, is a product you can get behind. And I have nothing else but good things to say, especially you got Bertuzzi coming back, expected to be back tonight, I believe, and obviously signing Robbie to that 3-year, $4 million deal, flexible contract. Yzerman's bringing in the guys he likes, re-signing them, really building the foundation, and my God, as a customer, take away the fan thing, just this product I can get behind. No doubt. Out of all the franchises, this is a for-sure product you can't say really anything about.
I love the typical sports fan. And honestly, you don't really see it outside of the New England dynasty, the Red Wings dynasty. And, it's not very often where every year you're spoiled.
No, yeah.
And you're at the top of the game. You're competing in the biggest moments and the biggest games. I mean, sports fans, look, for all the craziness and the fanatic and all of the antics, they're also very understanding and empathetic, and sports fans will get behind you if you show them that you are doing the little things right.
Mm-hmm. And they won't question every decision you make.
You're hitting on your draft picks.
Yep.
Well, what has been one of the biggest distrusts in Detroit with the Lions for so many years? Draft picks, second-round picks haven't made the team up until how many years? How many years was the streak? 8, 7, 8, 9 years?
Yeah, it was damn near 10. It was bad.
I mean, so sports fans again are willing to be patient when you show them the roadmap to success. And when you have a history and a track record of success. Unfortunately, there's only one team in this town that has 0 track record of success. The other 3 do, which is why the fan bases are not only more patient, but I think really logical and really come to their senses when it comes to, all right, you know what? I'm a Tigers fan. Mid-2000s, or I should say early 2010s, we were one of the best teams in baseball, some of the best memories growing up, or if you're an adult, some of the best you've witnessed going to the games. And then 14, 15, 16 come around, and you're like, all right, Illich passed, Al Avila's an idiot, Tigers aren't good, they gave me great memories, let's see how long it takes them to turn it around. And you kind of weren't sure how long it would take until they got A.J. Hinch. And you're like, oh, he's a good manager. That's a top 3 manager in baseball. First season, arguably the best manager in baseball. Second season, he's probably going to compete for the AL Central pennant. Hopefully back to good old times for the Tigers. That's what matters. You just need to see it. You're spot on, Kennedy. Febreze.
My favorite player, clearly.
I love that Mike commented on that.
I know. He keeps going, too. But anyway, we have to hit the break, which means we get to hear about our friends at Northwestern Tech. When we come back, we will be talking about that awesome Monday Night Football game from last night, so make sure you stick around for that.
Well, guys, there's plenty of opportunities out there, and I have one for you right here. Northwestern Tech, you could start a new career in an industry that is always essential. It's the heating and cooling industry. You can learn more today by visiting northwesterntech.edu.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With mortgage interest rates unbelievably low, the stakes to find your new home have never been higher. And that's why Hall Financial's exclusive realtor network allows us to connect you with a top-rated realtor in your area, making sure you take on the housing market and win. Hall Financial has earned over 4,000 five-star reviews because of our technology and our commitment to closing your loan fast. 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Your Detroit alternative to the normal sports blah, blah, blah. It's Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. Like I said, we will cover Monday Night Football for you guys, the game that began and ended with an Aaron Donald sack for the Rams win over the Arizona Cardinals, 30-23. We saw 4 onside kicks, and something that we know well, the Cardinals were having a bit of an issue with their 4th down decision makings. The Rams defense looked really good. Matthew Stafford looked really good. And he made, I think, a case to put himself back into that MVP conversation for sure. Nearly flawless 3-touchdown performance. And his touchdown pass to Van Jefferson traveled for 51 air yards, his 3rd deepest touchdown pass in his career, the first of 50-plus air yards since 2014, and his first ever win against an opponent who entered at least 5 games above .500. So good game for Stafford.
No, look, regarding his case for MVP, it's tough. Even if they win out.
That's a tough stretch
Tom
he just got
Brady,
over.
Well, not only that, but Tom Brady really separated himself from the pack. And then there's Aaron Rodgers. I have two people ahead of Matthew Stafford.
If Lamar
right
has
now.
that type of stretch, I know he's injured, but we got to give Matthew Stafford. I mean, the stretch he had is pick six wise. I mean,
he didn't throw 4 interceptions in a game and
but
then
3 straight
score
pick
nothing
sixes
against the Dolphins. But
with
I'm with
3
you.
losses.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
it's
it's
tough. You
not
can't
good.
play that bad
No.
and expect to be in the MVP conversation when people like Brady and Aaron Rodgers are
Right.
dominating. So we agree there. This is where things got really interesting last night. And I kind of tweeted this out a little early on in the night when the game was just starting. And I said, every primetime game that the Rams play, I get out my popcorn, I get out a few cases of Heineken, and I just enjoy Lions Twitter absolutely erupting. People going absolutely crazy, highs and lows for a good 3 hours. And I'm just sitting there enjoying it, watching people freak out. When Stafford went 3 and out to start the game, what a loser. Primetime, he sucks. And he goes down and they start getting the lead and he's throwing beautiful balls. Van Jefferson, Odell Beckham, Cooper Kupp. And it's like, nothing. Quiet. Very quiet night for Twitter yesterday. Not as fun as it usually is. But having said that, Sean McVay and the Rams got back to what really made them so good all those years ago. Mm-hmm. A power run offense that was built on by heavy play action, heavy deception, and misdirection routes. It is one of the most beautiful things to see. And Stafford made some throws last night. Look, guys, I know you may not like him now that he's not in Detroit, or you just didn't like him when he was here. I don't really care about that today. I really don't. What I do care about is some of the throws he made last night were ridiculous.
The Van Jefferson one.
The Van Jefferson toss was on the money. But there were instances, guys, it's the little things that really come out to me on screen. When he made a first down pass to Cooper Kupp, I believe it was 3rd and 8, and Stafford was slightly on the move. Cooper Kupp standing right here, the linebacker was coming towards him. If Stafford would have thrown it directly to his chest, Cooper Kupp would have been tackled short of the first down marker. And what Stafford do? Cooper Kupp is running this way, he throws it slightly behind him, forces Cooper Kupp to adjust, and he turns around and gets the first down. I mean, guys, it's those little things that some of these elite quarterbacks do that just, I just sit there and be like, man, they're unbelievably talented.
That Cooper Kupp in the red zone, did you see that too? The DB.
I mean, nobody else was going to get it. That's why you gave up 2 first-round picks for Stafford, but that's why these quarterbacks are so damn good. I mean,
perfect
Herbert,
ball,
Stafford, Allen, Mahomes, Brady, Rodgers. These guys are just unbelievable. Their arm talent, their ability to change angles. I mean, forget the scoring, forget the ability to win on the road. Really what stood out to me last night was Stafford really stepped up to the plate. We talked about narrative, Jeff. I love doing this.
Yeah.
Narrative matters in the NFL, guys. Start paying attention to it. Narrative going in, they've lost 3 of their last 4, speaking of the Los Angeles Rams. And they needed to win on the road against Arizona, who had beaten them earlier. Had they lost, not only would division hopes would have been basically erased, but you would have to look at the Rams like, are you even going to make the playoffs? Are you going to fall all the way to 7? Mm-hmm. They're 9-4. They're a game out of the division. The Seahawks, the Cardinals' schedule doesn't get any easier. They play Detroit next week, but then they have divisional foes. So the Rams are really in a good spot. And who stepped up, Jeff, last night? That is such a great thing to see when he does it. Aaron Donald, my
3
goodness,
sacks.
look, there are people with better numbers. There are people that are playing at an extremely high level, but you can't tell me that Aaron Donald, for what, the 5th or 6th straight year now, is the best player in the NFL. Not offensive, defensively, I don't care. He is unbelievable. The attention he commands at the line of scrimmage is beyond me. Double, triple teamed at times. And he pushes around 300, 400-pound guys like they're nothing, like they're fish. It's unbelievable to watch. 3 sacks last night. Good for him. 5th straight season with 10 sacks. I mean, you want to talk about a guy that's secured a first ballot Hall of Fame career. It's Aaron Donald. All he's missing is a Lombardi. But having said that, you go on the road, Matthew. You play like that, 287, 3 touchdowns, only 7 incompletions, no turnovers, efficient on 3rd down. You play that well on the road against against the league's best team going into Monday night, who had the best record in the NFL. Good for you. Good for you.
I mean, my takeaway from last night is definitely the coaching clinic. I mean, you kind of alluded to it already by Sean McVay from a play calling standpoint. And what was impressive to me, Sony Michel, obviously they were dealing with the injuries. And really just getting back to pounding the football and creating opportunities off that beautiful, beautiful play action. Almost the bootleg to Van Jefferson was just absolutely beautiful. And then you had Odell. Believe it's his third straight game with at least one touchdown. Haven't done that since New York. So he's coming alive now with the emergence of Odell. Now that Robert Woods is done with the ACL injury. But what's crazy to me, and Cooper Kupp, man, another amazing game. And Cooper Kupp, I got to point this out, might get a triple crown of the NFL. I mean, the guy's leading all wide receivers in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns, which is just absolutely insane. But anyway, the Rams, no Tyler Higbee, no Jalen Ramsey, no right tackle, Rob Havenstein. You're missing Darrell Henderson, running back depth. Sony Michel's your only running back on the field. And Matthew Stafford does that with that performance. Led them down with a perfect drive. Didn't miss a throw. It was a display he put on. And I want to get to the Cardinals because you kind of touched on the Rams. The Cardinals, to me, and we could talk about the road record. They're undefeated on the road, 3-3 at home. And even if the Cardinals, I mean, I've been high on them since the early in the season, picking the Cardinals. I have questions. And it mainly has to do with the inexperience of Kyler Murray because, listen, the guy's tremendous, but he is young. At the same time, this is his first time breaking out. Will be his first time in the playoffs. Will be Cliff Kingsbury's first time in the playoffs. They both essentially came in at the same time. So I have worries about them because you saw it. Cliff Kingsbury late in the game. You're down 10 points. You have an opportunity. Prater is cooking from 50 plus. Cooking. And you go for it on 4th down, 4th and 2, when you could have settled for the field goal, and you got another opportunity later in the game to drive down the field. And you saw it. They had 2 other opportunities after that 4th down debacle. They didn't get it. But at the same time, I picked the Rams to win. So we saw this coming. But my question is, what happens to the Cardinals when they get in the playoffs? They get a home game against a pretty damn good team. I don't know if they can win a playoff game, and that's not just overreacting. That isn't, because I really don't know how this Arizona team. I mean, what's the stat? I mean, 11 turnovers. You said.
I love stats. I memorize them like crazy, so I'll read it verbatim. On the road, 7-0, and they've only turned the ball over twice. Fun fact: over the course of the whole season, they lead the NFL in fumbles with 23. But they've only lost 3 of them, which is unbelievable. I mean, talk about luck.
Yeah.
But at home, they're now 3-3 with 12 turnovers.
You can't
look. If I'm looking at the data, since we want to be Mr. Analytics here in 2021, lose out, Arizona. Lose out. Get the number 6 seed. Play the whole playoff on the playoff schedule on the road. You'll win the Super Bowl, apparently. Jokes aside, I'm being sarcastic, obviously, but. The point is, how do you play that bad? And how can you even justify it? I don't understand. You're at home in a dome setting, a controlled temperatured environment.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I don't want to forget it. I don't want to forget this guy. James Conner.
Oh my God. The one-handed catch.
Who is this guy? Look, in Pittsburgh, he was a nice back. Good fantasy back. Had a really good year during his time there. Struggled at the end with injuries, and the offensive line was not great in Pittsburgh. Who is this guy? Chase Edmonds, why did you get hurt? This guy is unbelievable. One-handed catches, breaking tackles,
making people miss.
Made Aaron Donald miss at the goal line.
Yep.
Scored 2 touchdowns last night. Good for James Conner, man.
He's balling.
That's one of those stories where you want to put your arms around. You really do. But look, I think what's crazy is you have the Rams sitting at 9-4, the Cardinals at 10-3. The Rams are still in the hunt for the division.
They are.
If the Rams finish 13-4 and they win out, Rams are probably winning that division. The Cardinals, look, the defense is good at times, but it's so weird with the Cardinals. When they play good, they beat down teams. And then there's nights where last night Kyler's running for his life.
Mm-hmm.
Any other quarterback in the NFL may have died yesterday against the Los Angeles Rams. He's escaping, maneuvering, getting around the pocket, running for 10, 20, 30 yards at a time, making throws downfield, insane throws to Christian Kirk, insane throws to A.J. Green, DeAndre Hopkins, making plays, avoiding Aaron Donald, avoiding Von Miller. But he threw really, I want to say, 2 of the worst interceptions I've seen a quarterback throw this year. Like,
Bad,
and the one that he threw to the
Floyd.
linebacker.
The one he tipped and just grabbed
Floyd,
it. Oh, my God.
It wasn't even like he didn't see him. He tried getting it over him. And when you're Kyler and you're 5'9",
Yeah,
5'10",
5'11", he's 6'4", that linebacker.
He's 6'4", he's well above you, he's athletic. And if you think you're going to rainbow that in, you have to be so perfect in that situation. Yeah. And when you make those kind of decisions in your own territory, that, to me, is one, a sign of immaturity. Well, he's young, I don't mind it. But two, it's poor decision making. You can't do that.
No.
You can't put your team in a bind. They set him up. I mean, we talk about Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and 2 in your own territory. That's what happens. The Cardinals found out the hard way. Kyler, you make that decision to throw that football, and it's not perfect, and it wasn't. It got tipped, and it was intercepted. Mm-hmm. The Rams go down and score right away. Now it's a 14-point game.
Yep.
Changes the whole concept and all the momentum going in the game. You were tied at halftime. It was 13-13.
Especially when the
Rams took the lead.
Yeah.
You went down. Prater hit a nice 52-yard field goal. Cliff Kingsbury, to this day, don't know why he didn't attempt a 55-yarder with Matt Prater. You have one of the best kickers in the league. In the league, make it a one-possession game.
Yep.
And you wouldn't have had to force plays downfield and settle for a field goal at the end. You could have opened up a 4-down package. You could have made plays that would have set you up for 4th and short maybe if you had to, and you could have ran it with James Conner, knowing that you needed to get a touchdown. Like, again, it's easy to judge coaches after the fact. But in hindsight, really, truly, when you have one of the best kickers, he's already 2 for 2 that night with 2 50-yarders.
Yes, he was cooking.
To me, that's the obvious decision. But look, I get it. You're playing the Rams. You don't want to give them the ball, but your defense did stop them after. They did. The Rams took off a good, 2.5 minutes, and then they punted. Mm-hmm. Kennedy?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll get into more Stafford talk later in the show. My boy Westy, he bet last night, and you know who he bet with and lost money with? Our friends at MyBookie.
Yeah, honestly, I talk about this on the show all the time, especially when we talk about MyBookie. If you suck or have a gambling problem, I tell you clearly what to do, and I think Alex Westfall is starting to fall into that category. Having said that, guys, bet from anywhere, anytime, using MyBookie. Yesterday, I put $700 on the Rams. My goodness, did that feel good as a payout. I also scored the most points in the fantasy league last night as well. Clinched that. Free $75 for the week, and then we can talk about the season long after. Excited. Quarterfinal matchup next week. But Thursday night football action, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the Kansas City Chiefs visit the Los Angeles Chargers. And you know what else we get? Because we're so spoiled as football fans, we get Saturday football. And I'm telling you, if you're not betting, you're missing out, guys. Sign up today using code Woodward. They'll match you dollar for dollar. You put in $100, they'll give you $100. You put in $500, they'll give you $500. Guys, this is basically a risk-free bet. It's free money. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of the promo MyBookie is running. And again, if you're like Alex Westfall and you suck at betting, or you just have a gambling problem, please call the Gambling Problem Hotline at 1-800-270-7117.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stafford Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stafford Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Myre.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho!
It's Adam, Jeff, and Kennedy. Mornings on the Woodward Sports Network.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show. It is Tuesday, which means it's time for Top 10 Tuesday. These guys have their top 10 NFL teams ready for you after this week. So, Adam, let's start with you at 10.
Ooh, number 10 team that had a bye week that I am a big fan of, the Indianapolis Colts. For me at number 10, I'm going to have them over the Ravens. I'm going to have them over some of these 8-win teams. I'm not going to be fooled by their record. The Browns even.
Yep.
The Ravens. I'm not interested. Give me the Colts. For me, they're a top 10 football team. Love the way they play football.
And we agree. And mostly because that Lamar Jackson injury, even if he comes back this week, I don't know how his health...
He won't be. He'll be out.
See,
it's
question
officially,
that.
He's
I could see them dropping
out.
a game or two. I think the Colts right now, healthy, Jonathan Taylor doing what he does. And, yeah, I got the Colts as 10, too. I mean, both sides of the ball, they're complete. So I got them as well, number 10.
Right.
What about number 9? I think we maybe disagree here. I got the Tennessee Titans.
Oh, see, okay, yeah. So I got the Titans a little higher than that.
Okay.
At 9, I've got the Buffalo Bills. Although I loved what I saw out of them in the second half, the first half concerns me. And their inability to run the football really has me questioning whether or not they're a legitimate Super Bowl contender. They've got the talent. Yeah. They've got the secondary players. They've got the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to run the ball. You got to find something. We talked about this with the Rams. How do they find their identity? Running the ball. Sony Michel wasn't fantastic last night, but he was effective enough to set up the big home run plays on play action. And that's all you need. You just need the linebackers to step up just a little bit, and the safeties just a little bit. Bills got to figure out their run offense. I have them at number 9 this week.
I don't have the Bills. I have them right outside my top 10, and I couldn't agree with you more. The run game for them, and they have running backs. It's about utilizing it. It'll open up so much more for Josh Allen. Number 9 for me, I got Tennessee Titans. Speaking of a run team, and Derrick Henry, I saw the news. He'll be back, obviously, hopefully before the end of the year. If not, the first playoff game he'll be back. But Tennessee Titans, to me, what are they? They got 8-9 wins. But to me, I think they deserve to at least be up there for me. I mean, the Ravens aren't my top 10, but I got the Tennessee Titans up there. I mean, Vrabel, you beat Jacksonville. Congratulations. You saw the way Urban Meyer shook his hand at the end of the game. Wasn't too happy about that. But I got Tennessee Titans at 9 for me. What about 8 for you?
8, I've got the Los Angeles Chargers, who I think are going to have a big prove-it game this week against the Chiefs. They beat them earlier on in the year. Now they're at home. Can the Chiefs continue to they've held their opponents under 10 points 4 of the last 5 games. I'm not sure what to make of the Chiefs. They've been improving so much. Mahomes is not turning the ball over like he was before. He's accepting the little things and the little plays. So Chiefs look good, but look, I like the Chargers. Justin Herbert, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL.
30 touchdowns first 2 years?
In NFL history.
That's ridiculous.
Guys, please pay attention to this. When historical things happen, do not be numb to it.
Yeah.
The first player in league history to throw 30 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons. The youngest player to reach 60 touchdown passes, I believe, since Dan Marino.
That's ridiculous.
Only behind Dan Marino.
All he knows is 30
Please,
touchdowns.
guys. And for the people yesterday that told me, in Detroit he would have been above. Shut up. Quarterbacks like that are great anywhere they go. I don't care what surrounds them. I got the Chargers at 8.
I honestly couldn't agree with you more. I got Chargers at 8, and to your point, this week I'm excited. We saw the news Slater might be out. Obviously, he's dealing with the COVID thing, but if he could test negative, he'll play. I like Justin Herbert. I like the Chargers. They've managed to stay healthy, and again, their defense is starting to play a little better the last couple games. So we'll see how they do against Kansas City, and you'll see where I have Kansas City ranked. But at number 7. Slightly above the Chargers for me, and they're trending downwards, the Dallas Cowboys, and they're barely above the Chargers just because of what the Chargers looked like, not last game, but before that. I think the Chargers can surpass the Cowboys. Cowboys, to me, and it's really let's talk about the quarterback real quick, Dak Prescott, and he's the thing that makes the whole train go. And without the defensive line for the Cowboys, Micah Parsons, you got DeMarcus Lawrence coming back, Randy Gregory. I don't know what this Cowboys team would be because Dak Prescott. Obviously, the contract he got, one of the highest paid quarterbacks, if not in the most in the league. And with that comes expectations. With that comes, when you lose, things fall on you. It's not always back in the day when Dak was winning. It was the run game. It was the offensive line. Now it's the defensive line. So it's not all Dak is the reason why the Cowboys are winning. I like the Cowboys as a whole. I like Dan Quinn. I like Kellen Moore. So I got them at 7 for me.
So as an open and avid Dallas Cowboys hater, I do not have them in my top 10 this week. I am not impressed with Dak Prescott. Guys, you're paying him $40 million.
It's ridiculous.
He hasn't played a damn good football game since week 1 against Tampa Bay. Dak needs to get better. He needs a run game. The formula's there. They're just not executing. So, no, I don't have them in my top 10. Number 7, Tennessee, like you brought up earlier. But I'll skip past them. I think the book is out on them. They need to get healthy. And come playoff time, if they're healthy, they're going to be a problem.
Yep.
Number 6, the team that fell the most for me this week outside of Dallas, the Arizona Cardinals. Number 6, I have them out of my top 5. You can't be 7-0 on the road and 3-3 at home. That makes me question not only your legitimacy, but I'm starting to believe there's some luck involved. And look, every team needs luck, but I'm starting to think it's kind of more luck than greatness. Kyler's great, but Cliff Kingsbury, you got to button up, man. You got to button up play calling. You got to button up your team. Can't be turning the ball over at home the way you are. I don't understand it. In a controlled environment where your fans are allowing you to speak clearly to your quarterback on every single play, and you guys are struggling, I don't get it. Somebody needs to justify how they have fumbled the ball 23 times and have only lost it 3 times. I don't get it. Compile that with 2 turnovers in 7 games on the road. This team, statistically, does not make sense, which is why I don't have them in my top 5.
Okay, well, so at that was your number.
That was number 6.
Okay, number 6. So number 6 for me, I have the Kansas City Chiefs right outside the top 5, and they're trending upwards. Obviously, what they did to the Raiders. Talk about Aaron Rodgers owning the Bears. Patrick Mahomes owns the Raiders, and you saw it with the scoreboard the last 2 games, and I'm not going to take too much from it. Obviously, the Raiders got a little dysfunction going on, and they have a lot of problems they got to figure out. But the Chiefs, to me, look good defensively. They're starting to figure things out, so they're trending upwards for me. They're at 6. I can see them being inside that top 4, top 3 as the season progresses. But right now, I don't have them in front of the Cardinals or anything, but they're at 6.
Yeah, no, look, I'm sorry. Cardinals have to fall for me. Number 5, the Los Angeles Rams. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done for me lately? And lately, the Rams, now 2 straight impressive performances after losing 3 straight. They're starting to get their mojo back. The defense is getting to the quarterback. The defense is forcing turnovers. The run game looks at least competent with Sony Michel. And Matthew Stafford looks really good. Hasn't turned the ball over in the last few weeks. I'm all for it. For me, the Rams, number 5 this week in my power rankings.
Number 5, I have the Cardinals, top 5. And listen, they're trending downwards, obviously, with that loss because, again, you just brought up the statistic. If you can't win at home, I don't know what you are, especially if you're a number 1 seed and you can't win at home. That's a recipe for disaster. You got second-year coach, second-year quarterback. So I got them at 5. Confidently, we'll see where they go. They could trend downwards. They could trend upwards. They're kind of right now stagnant. You got a lot of good teams behind them that are waiting to come up. So the Cardinals are holding on for me at 5. They're holding on.
Well, the team that I think has really done a great job of turning around their season, I believe after starting, 1-2? Or 1-3, 1-2, one of the 2, whatever it was. The Kansas City Chiefs, like I said earlier, in their last 5 games, they've held opponents to under 10 points in 4 of them. That's impressive. Defense is clicking. They got their edge rusher back. They're starting to look really good. Secondary playing really tight. I'm all for it. I'm all for this team right now. They're a top 5 team in my book. They're 9-4. Watch out, Kansas City kind of peaking at the right time. So watch out, NFL.
All things work for a reason. I picked them to win the Super, or at least get to the Super Bowl, and they look so bad. And then now at least they're coming alive. But at number 4 for me, I have the Rams. They jump 1 spot above the Cardinals. I know the Cardinals have a better record, but the Rams, to me, right now, look better the last 2 games. And listen, Stafford, if he plays like that, against good teams, I think they'll be just fine. So the Rams, to me, they're at 4. And the next 3 teams in front of them, I mean, they're looking even better, but the Rams, don't count them out. I think if they can string along a couple wins, especially how their season ends, they'll be fine. So I got the Rams at number 4 for me.
All right, top 3. This is where things get interesting, and I'm so glad you haven't said this team's name yet because it means you have them in the top 3. The New England Patriots, I'm sure we agree at number 3.
Yes, we do.
Bill Belichick, I hate you. As somebody that is an avid Detroit sports watcher, talks about Detroit sports every day, I hate you, Bill. I hope you know that. And my hate for you is a form of admiration as well. How you take one of the worst rosters I've seen in the NFL last year, with Cam Newton as your quarterback, who should not be in the NFL, with your entire all of your star defensive players, keep in mind, sat out because of COVID, and you somehow go 7-9? You piece of you-know-what. And not only that, Bill, you follow it up. While the Bills were 13-3 that year, you follow it up. You draft Mac Jones, who was the 5th quarterback taken in the first round, and he looks like the best of the bunch currently. I hate you, Bill. They're number 3 for me. I hate you.
And
How?
what is up with
Why?
the Patriots and quarterbacks? They hit on more quarterbacks than they do. Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
Look, no, I think the Patriots basically did what the Packers did.
Very
They had
smart.
Favre, then they got to
Right.
Rodgers. Who knows what Mac Jones'
Competent.
ceiling is, but still, the fact that they're able... Everybody thought the Patriots would be in a 2 to 3 year rebuild.
Yeah.
They're 1 year out, and they have the best record in the AFC. I hate you, Bill Belichick. I hate all of you Boston fans. Why do you deserve this?
Yeah.
Go to hell.
Screw Boston fans. You guys get all the
Jesus
success.
Christ.
You're hogging it all.
What is that?
No.
How do you go from we lost Tom Brady, we have no wide receivers, we have no offensive line, our whole defense is sitting out because of COVID.
And they're 7-9.
Huh?
And they're
they go
Super Bowl.
7-9
Yeah.
with Cam Newton, who literally is a bum.
Yeah.
And they follow up the 7-9 year. They don't even tank. They go 7-9. They pick up what, 13, 15? They're like,
They
yeah,
say, we'll roll with it.
outsmart all of you. You guys can all take quarterbacks in the top 11. We're going to take Mac Jones at 15 or wherever the hell they took him. And he's going to be the best quarterback year one out of everybody in the class. Great. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it, buddy. Have a great day. Top 3. God dang it.
Got rid of
Talking about
Stephon
the Patriots
Gilmore.
already.
I mean, any move Bill makes, you just
20
seem,
years of my life.
Yeah.
The Patriots were always at the top. And I didn't mind it. Tom Brady, Michigan man, love him. Mm-hmm. But I'm just looking like, Jesus Christ. Can you guys give the league a break? They give us 1 year? We get 1 year? That's all we get? 1 year off from Bill Belichick and the Patriots? That's what we get?
It's crazy to say that. 1 year off. Think about it. The Lions went 7-9 this year. Is that a year off?
The Lions have given us 58 years off. Bill's given me 1? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. The Patriots are in my top 3. They're number 3 for me, and they deserve. I mean, Adam just nailed that. I'm not even to speak no further on the Patriots. That right there is absolutely ridiculous, and the Patriots deserve to be there. Number 2, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And listen, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're trending upwards. Obviously, I picked them to be in the Super Bowl once again. Tom Brady, the GOAT, my MVP pick. Late, I had Josh Allen. Now I'm starting to admit it's probably Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, and at this point, Tampa Bay. Good win over the Bills. Bills are holding on for a second, but they got the job done. Touchdown pass to who else but Brashad Perriman. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they stay at 2. And I don't know if you. I'm kind of curious to see how you're 1 and 2.
I've got the Bucs
okay,
at 2.
so
Look,
we agree
Tom
on
Brady
number 1.
again, another MVP type performance. I'm not gonna knock. Look, the Buccaneers. They're a scary team.
Yeah,
They really are. The run defense, the defensive front, their offensive line is the best offensive line in football.
yeah.
Tom Brady works his magic. I mean, guys, go listen to Dan Orlovsky talk about Tom Brady and the progressions and the reads and understanding not only the line protection and what was going on at the time, but how the underneath routes worked so perfectly and how even the Bills had it covered perfectly. But what was the one X factor on that game-winning touchdown? Brashad Perriman's speed.
Yeah.
And Brady recognized it. He initially wanted to go to Godwin, check down to Perriman, and the rest is history. I love Tom Brady. He makes it look easy. There are 2 quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and I could argue a third in Justin Herbert, but I won't right now because he's still very young and raw. But if you watch Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers play, game looks totally different. Just looks easy. They go to the line of scrimmage. They know what you're doing. And if their receivers get open, they're hitting them. They don't miss. These are 2 quarterbacks right now that are making the entire league look like a joke. Yeah. And that's why they're the 2 best teams in football, and we agree. Number 1, the Green Bay Packers. The best team in football. I could argue the second best quarterback in the NFL, but only behind Tom Brady right now and Aaron Rodgers, who's playing at an MVP level. I could argue Coach of the Year behind Bill Belichick and Matt LaFleur. Watch out for the Packers, guys. This may be an easy trip to the 3rd straight NFC title game. And look, you can hate on them all you want. That's standard. And in Green Bay, all they're thinking about is the Lombardi. Imagine that. That kind of expectation. Get there. In due time. But having said that, Packers are phenomenal. Kennedy, do you disagree with anything we have on our list? Anybody? Are you upset that I left Fat Man and the Cowboys off the top 10?
No, that's all right with me.
All right, good.
For now. I did like them at the beginning of the season, though.
How many minutes? Oh, we don't have
We
time.
have to go to break.
Well,
I was going to say...
I was going to bring up Fat Man. Zion Williamson, 330 pounds? Shame on you. Shame on you. I told you, Zion, get off the Snickers and Mountain Dew diet. You're not listening.
I was going to bring up, speaking of ranking teams, Alex Mayer, we have beef. Because why is our fantasy playoff bracket 4 teams?
Oh, boy.
Explain that to me.
It makes absolutely no sense. And
congrats you two for getting in, but as the 6th best team in the league, I should be in the playoffs. And so should Fish.
I can't complain because
he's the 5th best.
It gives me a better chance to win. I'm facing Stick this week, so
yeah.
Ooh, that's gonna be
Stick
rough.
might.
6 at 9 and 5. You're at 11-3. You got this, Jeff.
Yeah, Stick's team's low key kind of good. Stick has a good player. I can't think of it. He has one player on his team, which I'm like, holy shnikes. So we'll wait and see.
Dak Prescott. He's got Claypool. I mean, you'll beat him, Jeff. He doesn't
have Jonathan Taylor, right?
Unless he's benched right now. Oh no, he does.
Yeah, he has Jonathan Taylor.
Yep. All right, see you guys.
But Adam, this means you have to kick Mayer's ass.
Look, Mayer only beat me because I didn't start a running back and I had a 0 point.
Yeah,
It's all good. I wanted him to get in. I felt bad for him. I was doing the pregame show. I didn't have time to change my lineup. It's all good. It's all good. I'm not mad at anybody.
If you would have beaten Mayer, Fish and Justin would be in the playoffs right now.
Not my problem. Should have won more games. And Alex Mayer, you are the lowest level of human intellect.
Wow.
For only having 4
For having a
playoff
12
spots.
team.
It's typically 6.
Yes.
Two
Fish,
bye
we
weeks.
should be in the playoffs.
These two should be in the playoffs. Fish and Justin's team and Kennedy's team should be in the playoffs. Shame on you, Alex Mayer. We're going to talk after the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
Alex
boy.
Mayer, meet me outside.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
coming up next, we have quite the video, quite the treat for you guys, so stick around for that. But first, like Alex Mayer, some people need to stay out.
Listen, Guardian Alarm, and we talk about defense, and hopefully my defense plays well in fantasy this week against Stick, but I know a defense that's always reliable. It's Guardian Alarm, and they get it. Good defense on and off the field helps you feel secure, and Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT
Stay
today.
out.
You heard Fish. It's 800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out, Alex Mayer. Stay
Guardian
out.
Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families
Look
safe.
out, get out, stay out.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Follow us everywhere. Just search Woodward Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, IG, and more.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. Like I said, we have quite the treat for you guys. I interviewed maybe the drunkest fan that I've ever interviewed at our Lions pregame show over the weekend, and Adam absolutely fell in love with this guy to an extent. Oh, you have a problem with some of the things he said?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Okay, so we're going to run the clip for you guys. Stick around, and then Adam will talk about it.
You got to take the Broncos. Sorry. I mean, we just suck. I'm sorry. It hurts. Hey, Ford, sell the team, please.
I love that you brought that up because our friend Adam up there, he's got some really strong feelings about Sheila. Do you have any feelings about her?
I'd love to be in the Lucky Sperm Club of the rich kids, you know. I work my ass off, and I'm sick of you spoiled Fords with your spoiled team we pay money for, and I'm sick of you. I hate you. I hate the Fords. Kiss my white Irish ass who I worked. My grandparents, my 4 grandparents came over on this country on a riverboat, and we kick ass, and I make money, and we spend money. We're sick of you, Ford. Sell the damn team.
That was... you're saying what the people are thinking. Yes. You got Adam over there. He says you're his hero.
God bless. White Irish, badass motherfucker.
There you have it, everyone. All right. So we're going into this game against the Broncos. The injury report, the amount of people with COVID, the flu, you name it. Which player that's sitting out today makes you the most worried about this team? For me, it's TJ Hawkinson. We don't have Swift, and now we don't have Jamal Williams. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Let's go Red Wings, you know. They give us something. Hey, Stevie Yzerman, that's a winner. Put Stevie Yzerman in charge of the Lions because the Forts don't know how to do it, and we're done.
So there you have it, everyone. Adam's new bestie. He was screaming from across the bar, I love this guy. You're my hero. So, Adam, tell us about your hero.
Listen, so as drunk as he was making really good points. Like, people have to remember this. Now, the whole sell the team thing, I don't think that one will ever happen, so I don't even acknowledge that theory. Why in your right mind would you ever sell $1 billion company? Why? Your kids are set up. Why in God's name would you give up that kind of power? I don't get it. It's like these people who've never been successful or have never had like any little instance of power in their life. You never want to give up that kind of power. Stop it. But that was the funniest thing I'd ever watched in my life. When we were there live and you were interviewing him, I was like, he's going off. This is my kind of guy.
I literally didn't know what to do.
Talk your shit. Talk it. I'm all for it. I'm cutting radio audio today, Fish. You don't have to be mad. Don't worry. I'll cut it out.
That's fine. Well,
I'll swear as much as I want today.
Okay, well, you better cut it out.
I'm the one who's cutting out the audio.
Hell yeah, brother.
That's fine.
Thank you, Justin, for being sick. Back to the point.
Back
Kennedy,
to the point.
kind of walk me through, like, what was going through your mind when you were interviewing this guy?
Well, I pulled him because he was at a table with all of his buddies, and he was just being so loud and obnoxious. He was so hammered. I was like, I got to talk to this guy. Like, I don't even care if he's a Lions fan or not. I pull him, and he was. And he was like, oh, yeah, you can ask me anything. I know everything about the Lions. So I was like, all right, and I did. And then he didn't want to talk Lions anymore. He said, go Red Wings. So Steve Yzerman, take over.
He brought up the point we introed the show with. Listen, you can call him a crazy fan, drunk fan, whatever you want. He made good points. And it brought it up literally at the beginning of the show. Funny to say. Look how people revere Steve Yzerman. They believe in him. Why? Track record, history, success, standard, excellence. The things I can say about Steve Yzerman, I could be here for 2-3 hours. The point is, you may think he's a crazy, dumb Lions fan. To me, he was drunk. But two, and more importantly, he gets it. You have to have a standard around here. Accepting a rebuild every 2-3 years for 58 years isn't a standard. It's depression. It's frustration, which is why you see fans react like he is. Sell the team. They're costing us money. Wasted. Like, you see why people say stuff like this? That doesn't come from deep-rooted hate. That comes from a lifetime of zero success. And giving a team everything you have, your soul, and them giving you Eric Ebron. That's what happens. So when people like that say stuff like that, I'm not going to kill them for it. And the Lions will never sell. I don't want to hear this argument. I don't. They are not going to sell. In my lifetime or your kid's lifetime, it's not going to happen. Stop. Stop this. They need to sell the team. No. Get the front office right. Get the head coach right. Get the quarterback right. And I swear everybody will shut up for 20 years.
Yeah.
Everything will work out. Stop making incompetent decisions. For the love of God. That's why he's so high on Steve Yzerman, Jeff.
Yeah, he is.
Like how he spoke about Steve Yzerman,
yeah.
I promise you, he would speak like that about the Lions if they were doing something right.
For sure. And to your point about the Lions, and there's never been proof of anything. So the guy, and I'm 21 years old. I've been watching the Lions pretty much my whole life, and I agree with the man. And I see where he's coming from. Obviously, much older. These guys have been watching way more upsetting games than me. But the fact of the matter is, the premise is correct. the ownership is frustrating. And look at the Wings. Even Tom Gores, to a certain extent, with the Pistons. Like, you can say what you want about the guy. He hits on Troy Weaver. If he can hit on the next coach, or if Dwayne Casey's your guy, then we're shut up. No one's gonna critique you and say, go have a drink or whatever they come after him for. It's always about what results are you putting out. And the Lions, I mean, you don't have a win or you just got your first one. It doesn't help your case very much.
I loved what he said about, he's white Irish and his family came here and they fought.
They have to
and they built their futures here and all this. And I was just like, it's deep.
Yeah, no,
This guy's in pain. You could see pain. You could see the pain in his voice. You could hear it through his voice, and you could smell it if you were close enough to him with the alcohol.
I was right in there.
You could smell the pain, and I really sympathize with him. That's my hero. That's one of my heroes.
Yeah,
to an extent, and that's like the father figure I never had. Really, like I wish my dad was that open and openly like frustrated with the Detroit Lions. Now, if you come home at 1 o'clock, it used to be a ritual at my house. Sunday we're watching Lions, and my dad now, you go downstairs, he's on Netflix. Ooh. It's at 1 o'clock.
He's quit
I look
on
at him, hey Dad, what are you doing today? He's like, not watching the Lions. I'm like, all right, have a good day, Dad.
Sounds like. I'm not even lying. That sounds exactly like my dad. You go over there. You know what he did? He quit. He said
I'm scared.
No,
that's going to be me in 20, 30 years.
I know.
If this continues. I don't want to not watch football. I love football. Mm-hmm. Don't make me hate football, Detroit. Come on.
It got so bad for my dad. He's a Tom Brady fan now. He just follows him. He's done with the Lions. And hey, I call him a bandwagoner all the time, but I don't hate it because I get it. I get the man just wants to witness some games being won, and he is over in Tampa. But the fact is, listen, drunk words are sober thoughts, and this man clearly, when he's sober, and we understand that he thinks about this team, and he understands that it's disappointing every single year what you're witnessing. Not necessarily a product, but where the team's going. You haven't seen a clear direction in how long? Caldwell for a slight bit, they got rid of him. You wanted to get a better coach,
but that was never even a clear direction.
True, because they wanted to get the next guy.
It was always this mixed bag of emotions.
Yeah.
You walked into a completely stacked roster that was ready to really do something significant. You win 11-5. You got bounced out to New Orleans, and then you follow it up by going 7-9 after starting 5-0, and then the roster just keeps getting cut and depleted. Like, why? Why are you losing your best players, Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why is it that the Rams can keep all their players, the Chiefs can keep all their players? And obviously, this is hindsight, but at the time, you allowed this to happen. Detroit. The front office in Detroit, ownership, you allowed that to happen.
Mediocrity.
Want to talk about Caldwell all we want, that's fine. But let's not forget the roster changes that were going on at the time, the decisions that were being made. Ebron over Donald, I will never, I don't think I'll ever, I think on my tombstone, Adam, loving father, husband, etc., Ebron over Donald, cause of death, something like that.
Cause of death.
We'll see.
I mean, honestly, yeah. That guy was hilarious. That was probably one of the most like off guard I've ever been. Like where I was just like, I don't know what to say next.
I was all for it. I looked at him and said, you know what? That's why I love this country. People like that.
Yeah.
People like that is what makes this country great.
It's true. The white Irish.
Not even. Yeah. Okay. We didn't have to go there, but
no, that's what he was saying.
Free speech, basically, where I was going with it.
Jack Johnson, I love this attitude. Hey, if you want to get us old heads back, just win, baby, just win. That's just get some damn W's.
I mean, literally, Jack. I don't know how old you are, man, but my dad's what 55, 54, and yeah, he's already in giving up depression state mode. Mm-hmm. And that's been not only for now, it's been about 4 or 5 years. So sad.
Yeah.
Sad to see. And then I have to look at myself in the mirror like, damn, in 30 years, am I going to be like that?
Mm-hmm.
Hope not.
Hey, Jake said, thanks to Joik, I've come to terms with the Ebron pick. What did Joik exactly help you come to terms with? I'm not just saying that. I'm curious. Like, did he explain it?
I'm not okay.
I'm sorry. I love Joik Bell. I love him so much. Anything he says about the Lions, I don't even listen. He is so biased towards the Lions. I'm sorry.
A little up
he was
their
a player.
butts.
He played here. They gave him his chance. We all know the moments he shared here.
Mm-hmm.
He won't say a single bad thing about the team, and that's his problem.
Or anyone that's been on the team.
I'm not even going to... I don't even want to hear the justification of it. Stop it. You get the best players.
I didn't know there was.
I didn't know you could justify
I didn't know
that.
you can just...
Well, we got to go to break. When we get back, UFC 269 over the weekend.
Yes.
I made money. Shout out Charles
I
Oliveira.
lost a lot of money.
I see you, Brazilian champion, always good for the sport. Listen, I'm a fan of the minority.
All right. That's good.
And the white Irish.
Specifically that white Irish guy.
I loved him. I was so happy when he did that interview.
All right, you guys, I now need to tell you about the second annual Stuff a Studio. You see all the toys behind Jeff, Adam, and myself, so make sure you come and help join Woodward Sports Guardian Alarm and Myre present Stuff a Studio, collecting toys for Mott Children's Hospital. You can drop off toys at the Woodward Sports Studio at 34915 Woodward Avenue in Birmingham from December 13th to 17th to help all the children who have been in the hospital this year have the holiday that they deserve. Last year, Woodward Sports donated over $70,000 in toys to the Mott's Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor, making it the largest donation in Mott history. This year, we're going to try and do it again, teaming up with Myre, our great partners, and the power of you guys, our supporters, to stuff our studio full of toys. So like I said, you can drop off a toy anytime between December 13th and 17th from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. at the Woodward Sports Studio. If you are a local business, we will add you right here to this live read and give you a shout out. Or, of course, you can donate online at woodwardsports.com.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show, featured on the Roar 93.5 FM, 99.1 FM, and 94.7 HD2. Jeff, I am so excited to get into some UFC 269 with you. We had a lot to cover yesterday, so we didn't get to talk about it with you guys, but holy cow, these upsets, Jeff. First of all, I want to start with Amanda Nunes, that defeat that I don't think anyone saw coming. Well, Juliana was plus 1,000, I think. So if you put $10 on her, you win 100. Did I do that math right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Plus 1,000 would have been like $10 every $1, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh,
So,
maybe. I don't know.
10,
I
you would've
can't
won 100,
math.
whatever it was. But
If you would have just thrown some chump change on her, you would have been really happy. But I don't think literally anyone did that. They're calling it the second or third biggest upset in history. The end came via a rear naked choke submission at the 3:26 mark of the second round. This is Nunes' first loss since Barack Obama was president. You guys, that is insane. But Jeff, what were your thoughts on this fight?
I was shocked, honestly. And Amanda Nunes, obviously, been so dominant for so long that eventually, I mean, especially a minus 1,000 as a champion, minus 1,000 for any fighter in the UFC is always something you got to look at, because in the UFC, anything can happen. And Juliana Pena, obviously, she's been waiting for this fight for a while. Amanda Nunes drawed out of the first one due to COVID. Juliana's been training for straight up about a year, straight up for Amanda. So this chick's been prepared, number 3rd ranked fighter, and she came out absolutely She outstruck Amanda Nunes, went to the ground, submitted her, and it looked like Amanda just gave up, honestly. And you don't really see that really out of her at all. She's a complete animal, and I think that was the first time. I mean, yeah, she lost, but not just lost. It was honestly, it was sad. Juliana just took advantage of her completely, and she deserves that win. And the fact that after the fight, she pulled a Nate Diaz and said she wasn't surprised, which was just absolutely badass. So you got to give her credit. I was watching this fight with some buddies. My girlfriend's a big Amanda Nunes fan, and everyone just crapped their pants. I mean, no one expected Amanda Nunes not only to get outstruck, but to get submitted. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So to see something like that, obviously, if anybody took the odds on that, I think it was plus on the website I'm looking at, it's plus 700 for Pena. You got paid off, and it was a good investment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Amanda Nunes at a minus 1,000. I know people that are betting, tons of money just for a safe bet, and nothing's safe in the UFC. I mean, you could see why. So, credit to Juliana Pena. I think we're expecting probably definitely a rematch. I mean, if you've been dominant for that long, you're getting a rematch right after that. So maybe we'll see a third fight, because I'm assuming Amanda beats her the next fight. So we'll see.
She was supposed to be my lock in all of my parlays. I had Nunez in all of them, and so then when she lost, they were all just shot straight in the foot, which was a huge bummer. But it looked like to me, Jeff, when Pena landed that first hit, they were all landing on Nunez's nose, and I'm pretty sure she broke her nose, and then she just got like rocked and couldn't see. Like, it did not look like the woman could see straight. She looked lost out there. Like her hits weren't hitting, and Pena was able to just land a bunch more, like straight on the button over and over again. You could just tell. Once that first hit landed, I was like, she's lost. Like, she cannot see right now.
And I know Jake brought up this in the comment. Didn't like her post-fight shade at Nunez. I agree with you. And after the fight, it's funny because you see, Pena, and she's obviously, this is her time to talk all the trash she wants. And I'm sure she'll get a rematch, by the way, MP. I'm almost positive if a champion loses in that fashion, she's getting a rematch. And she's going to want that rematch unless she's, people have questioned Amanda for a while. She has a family now. She's been so dominant for so long. It's almost like, you question her hunger, or some people do. I'm not going to sit here and question her hunger, but some people do. They question her hunger. They question, how bad does she really want it? You got your kid now. You got other things to worry about. And after a loss like that, an embarrassing loss, I think she wants that rematch, 100%. And yes, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. That's one of my favorite quotes ever. You have a plan until you get in there and you get punched in the face. All of that goes out the window. And Amanda I don't think she even expected to get that onslaught. She had no idea. But she'll want that smoke again, I promise you. She'll want that smoke.
It's crazy because Pena looked afraid of Nunez in the first round. Was just like, I just need to make it out of here. And then she landed that hit in the second round, and it was game over.
That's what I seem like everybody who fights Amanda Nunez does. And whenever you watch any of these, her fights, especially the last couple ones have been dominant. Every fighter who steps in there, and Juliana aside, steps in there almost trying not to get mauled. It's never, I'm going to go beat Amanda. It's just, can I survive? That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And Pena came out in the first round, looked a little hesitant, but she kind of adjusted and started attacking Amanda. And I think that even surprised Nunez. How she was coming after her and caught some great shots. But, there's that. I didn't bet on Amanda. I did have a parlay. And Cody Garbrandt messed that up for me early in the fight.
I had him too. Everyone's ruined him.
Yeah, it lost me some money there.
I also had Randy Costa. He ruined a lot of my parlays too, so it was a bad night for me for sure. But obviously we got to move to the main event, the Poirier-Oliveira fight. Poirier was a slight favorite and lost third round submission at the 102 mark in the third round, which means Oliveira remains the UFC lightweight champion. Fill me in on this fight, Jeff.
Well, Charles Oliveira is a professional. He is just a killer. And, I never questioned his heart, obviously. You saw in the Chandler fight. Last fight, he got rocked, came back, rocked Chandler, and ended up winning the fight. So I didn't question his heart. What I question, though, is can you keep up with Dustin Poirier on your feet? And, at the beginning, Dustin was winning those exchanges. And once it got to the ground, especially in the second round, I think Dustin maybe edged him out in the first round. The second round went to the ground, and Dustin just tried to survive. This guy is I call Charles is like a human snake. He just wraps around you and slowly just suffocates you. And Dustin, listen, the guy is one of the best fighters. I love Dustin. He's one of my favorite fighters of all time. But the fact still stands. Charles is a killer, especially his jiu-jitsu. He's definitely the best grappler in the lightweight division. Until Makhachev possibly gets in there. But in terms of just jiu-jitsu, he's spectacular, man. And once he got on Dustin, took his back, I was a little worried there. And of course, that's the fight game. He's a favorite. I bet on Dustin, of course. I was a fan of Dustin. I wanted him to win. Deserved a title shot to win a real title, not an interim belt. I'm talking about a real belt, and he didn't get it. So, it's unfortunate, but one Adam some money, of course. The guy doesn't even watch a ton of fights.
No, seriously.
And he comes and drops money on Oliveira, and he wins. That's
what did
just
he put
Adam.
on it? Like $500, $700?
Yeah, he put $500 on Oliveira to win.
I hate him.
And he did.
I hate him so much for that. Just because, and I got slandered left and right by all my friends because Adam said that. I just chucked $10 on Oliveira, And so I made a little bit of money back, but not a lot compared to like my 5 other parlays that I had going. Because once Randy Costa lost, that busted 2 of my parlays right away, the first of the night at like, 6:30. And so then I was like, all right, I'm going to go and make more. Those all busted after Nunez lost. So the only money I made back was because of Adam Baydoun. So thanks, Adam.
I honestly, I went solo dolo. I made a parlay. I had Sean, Cody, Santiago, and then Dustin. Saying they all pretty much lost. I mean, listen, Sean won, so I got Sean, knocked him out in the first round, absolutely destroyed Paiva. And listen, credit to Sean. I love Sean, one of my favorite fighters. But anyway, moving on, Cody.
He's one of your favorite fighters.
Yeah,
why?
Sugar Sean, baby. It's a Sugar Sean show. I like Sugar, and he's a beast. He just needs to fight better guys. He just needs to fight better opponents. But listen, when Cody fought Kai, and I watched the whole press conference. Cody's, he's the cool kid in town. He's talking trash. Love Cody. He's just that douchebag you like. I like Cody. And then he goes out there and gets absolutely obliterated. And Cody, I think in his last 5 fights, he's either 1-4 or his last 6, he's 1-5. Either one, he's ain't looking good. And he's gonna have to really decide his future because I'm not even mad about my parlay. I'm more concerned about this man's career because you're either getting cut from the UFC or you're gonna have to go take some time off, whatever he has to do. But it was a great event. I mean, last pay-per-view of the year, a bunch of upsets. I mean, listen, the Giuliano win, the Charles win. I mean, it's great. And then you see all the upsets, especially going down. The Jeff Neal win. So give credit, man. It was a great event. Even if you don't like the UFC, you had fun watching that. Can't even
Cody Garbrandt is a perfect example of why people who juice or take steroids should never be allowed to fight, or there should be a penalty where you go to jail. He lost his chin after the Dillashaw fight.
He stole it. He stole that chin.
So it's done. Like, his career was over. I mean, he was never going to be back to champion level fighting. Like, once you get KO'd, you're typically done. And I'm not talking a TKO. I'm talking a straight cold knockout.
Especially if it happens repeatedly.
I don't know.
Happens
I was watching. I didn't bet on any fight outside of the Oliveira fight.
We were just talking about that.
Look, guys, take it from me. When you get a champion as an underdog, you take it.
I listened to you.
When Alabama is an underdog, you take it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you think the other person is going to win. Poirier, what a nice story. He took the money fight. Charity, oh my God. He's going to go and get the belt now from... shut the hell up. No, he isn't. He's still the champ, Charles Oliveira. You don't want to be on the ground with him. Stop. Thanks for the money, Charles. Appreciate it, buddy.
Adam, you always win. It's so annoying.
And hey, if you guys... We have some avid UFC fans. I want to hear right now predictions. Gaethje versus Oliveira... Because Gaethje's set to face him next.
Gaethje gets choked in the first minute of the fight.
Oh my God! What is up with you and Oliveira now? Are you a fan?
I'm in love with him. No, look, I believe in stories and narratives.
He got a big story.
And this is a guy that has been knocked out, submitted, lost so many times in the UFC, and he found his way back to the top. And he's beaten some good fighters.
Yeah,
now
he's killing
Chandler.
Guys.
Now he's beaten Poirier. What, you think he's scared of Gaethje? Khabib mauled Gaethje. Charles Oliveira, at least from a grappling standpoint, I guess is not at the level, nobody's at the level of Khabib in terms of grappling, but still, I like Oliveira. I think he's different. I think he poses a different problem. And I think when he's on the ground, you're not seeing fighters go down and engaging with him. When he's on his own back, fighters who are on top are scared of him. Gaethje, get the hell out of here. Give me that Brazilian jiu-jitsu all day.
I was talking to Mayer about this the other day because he was like, Kennedy, how'd you set up your parlays? Who'd you know how to pick? And I went through the card and I picked all the hottest guys. And all the hot guys lost. So next time, I'm choosing all the uglies.
Oliveira's not ugly.
Compared to Dustin, he is.
No, he isn't. Dustin's got those fugly Frodo ears.
Oh. They all have cauliflower ears. Is that what you're talking about?
Oliveira looks better.
No, he doesn't.
I like his hair.
Anyway.
I like his chin.
I like his energy.
More.
I like his energy, man.
All right. Anyway, I'm going uglies next time, and I'm going to see if that works.
Oliveira's not ugly.
Yeah, he is.
I don't accept of this kind of commentary. We got to go to break. I'm not a fan of this.
Coming up next, we are going to revisit the Stafford Goff trade, some OBJ talk. But first, while we're talking football, we got to talk some foaling.
All right, guys. Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the place to be, whether you want to host your corporate party, a team building event, or you just want to take some friends and family out for a good time. You can drink your joys away, your tears away, whatever you want to do. They have over 100 beers at the facility, a $2 Mystic beer machine, and of course, multiple bars throughout the facility. Bring your own food or have it delivered, guys. Foaling Warehouse. Check it out in Hamtramck. That's foalingwarehouse.com. Again, 2 ways to play. $10 open play or a private lane reservation that holds up to 10 people, guys. Don't miss out. Check them out. The Foaling Warehouse.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. One mortgage myth we hear all the time is having to choose between a 15 or a 30-year fixed term. At Hall Financial, we offer the modern mortgage to create a flexible term that fits your unique financial situation. Our team of mortgage experts are available 7 days a week to review your goals and customize a solution for you. Get started today with a free 5-minute mortgage review at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Morning Woodward Show. Like I said, we're going to revisit the Stafford Goff trade, Adam. Are you sold? Who won this trade? And
both teams won the trade. So let's start there. The Lions got 2 first-round picks.
Yes.
That is good.
That's good.
That's really good. Moving on. The Lions failed to do what the Rams are doing right now. You can all admit it. Whether you want to... Actually, not you all can admit it. You won't. But it's fine. The Lions have never had a GM like Les Snead. They've never had a head coach like Sean McVay. 5th season as a head coach. 5th straight winning season. What a surprise. Ownership, Stan Kroenke, allows the team, gives the front office the flexibility to make tough decisions. They get Stafford. They get mauled for it for the last 3-4 weeks because of his bad play. And I loved the comments that Sean McVay made about Stafford. Now, you can call it buttercupping, or what do they call it, kissing up, or whatever, smooching up somebody or talking them up just because, that's what he does. Sean McVay's great at the podium, by the way. But regardless, he said that I learned more about Matthew Stafford in the 3 weeks where we were losing and he was playing bad than when we were 7-1. And to me, that says not only a lot about a coach, but the quarterback and their relationship. They're going to be just fine in Los Angeles. I think both teams won the deal. Lions got draft capital. They were clearly entering a rebuild like they've been doing all these years. So they got 2 first-round picks. It's not about who won the deal. You have to look at from perspective, guys. From the Los Angeles Rams' perspective, what is their expectation? We want to get back to the Super Bowl. We want to win a Lombardi. We feel we have the team to do it. Great. They went and upgraded at quarterback. They now feel they can do it. Especially after last night. The Lions' perspective, Stafford gave us 12 years. We were running into a brick wall. We had just fired Patricia. We were hiring a new coach, a new GM. He didn't want to be a part of a rebuild. We know we're going to be in a rebuild. What's the best case scenario for us? We get 2 first-round picks for him. Great. The Lions also won the trade. The Lions couldn't build a team and a front office and an organization like the Rams have. And that's what set them back. And that's what allowed them to go all these years without a division title, a playoff win, etc., etc. And I think this is my favorite thing. Because, look, we talk about Stafford all the time, and, people think, well, he couldn't get it done. Big moments. Couldn't get it done. And, it makes sense. I believe, 10-73 against winning teams. And then I just, Stafford, how many years did he give us? Good job, Kennedy.
Sorry.
It's okay. How many years did Stafford give us? Could you answer?
12.
12 years. All right, so I did some research. Let's look at the 12 years prior to Matthew Stafford. 10 losing seasons.
Oh, yeah, it ain't good.
1 playoff appearance. 0 divisions. 12 years with Stafford. 3 playoff appearances. 4 winning seasons. And, of course, no division titles. But here's where things get really, really good. Guys, let's look at the last 25 years. The 12 years before Stafford. the 12 years with him, and the 1 year since he's left. And during the 12 years of Stafford's time, I want you to really look at the games where he didn't play, where they missed out on Stafford. He was injured, hurt, whatever the case may be. Stafford didn't play. What was the record like? Well, the 12 years before, and the 27 games Stafford missed, and the 1 season since, let me add it up for you. Since Stafford has left, they are 1-11-1. During Stafford's time in Detroit, when he missed football games, they were 5-22. And my favorite stat of them all, in the last 25 years, without Stafford, the Detroit Lions are an outstanding 54, 177 losses, and 1 tie. Matthew Stafford clearly was the problem. But it wasn't a problem that your ownership, they took over in 63. They've had 38 losing seasons in the 58 years that they've owned the team. 38 losing seasons. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of 8-8s, 7-7s during the 14-game years. A lot of even records. Those aren't even winning seasons, let alone division titles. And you have 1 playoff win to show for in 58 years. There you go, guys. That is your history without Matthew Stafford. So this idea that Matthew Stafford couldn't deliver, I don't know a single person in the history of this organization that's delivered.
Not only delivered, but people say he was the main source of the problem. But
Stafford,
I'm just a dumb
you know
broad.
what Stafford is? Stafford in Detroit was that guy or girl in a relationship that just gave everything. Even though they knew the other person was unfaithful, messy, couldn't get organized, couldn't get their life together, they stuck around even though they were successful themselves. And they said, I want to bring you up with me. And at the end of the day, that person was just on the streets, doing cocaine, unfaithful, couldn't get their life turned around. And you had to leave them. Even though you didn't want to, you had to. And that's what Stafford and the Lions looks like. The Lions are an organization that could never get it together, before and after him so far. Yet we look at Stafford like he was the main source. He was not the only problem here. Well, he had Calvin. He had a top 5 defense once. Never. Oh, Adam, he had Joey Bell and Reggie Bush. Could have gone to the Super Bowl.
Hell yeah, they could have.
I never get it. I'll never get it. As if like, when have the Lions ever hired a Hall of Fame head coach? When have they hired a reputable, a stout GM that turned out to be like, oh my goodness, they've got him at running the team? My goodness, they've got him at head coach? Stop it, guys. 25 years. 12 without Stafford, 12 with him. And in the 12 years where he didn't, in those 12 seasons that he was here, and the 27 games he played, you were 5-22. Put that into perspective. In the 12 years before, the 12 years during where he missed games, and the 1 year since where they were 1-11-1, it all adds up to an outstanding 54 wins, 177 losses, and 1 tie. With 0 divisions, 0 playoff wins, and 4 playoff appearances in 25 years. That's this franchise. So excuse me that I'm not ready to be bullish and sit there and say, well, Matthew Stafford was the problem. Number 9 couldn't get it done in Detroit. Why don't you look at your front office? Why don't you take a look in the mirror? Look at your leadership group. Talk about this all the time. Leaders at companies matter. Where's your leadership group? Where's your head coach that is revered by everybody in the NFL? Because last I checked, head coaches that get a job in Detroit never get a head coaching job ever. Ain't that funny? Matthew Stafford was the problem. Right, Jeff?
I guess so. I guess to fans that he was. But to go back to the trade, I want to reference that to say who won it, I think is a dumb question or a dumb answer if you say who won it. It's more so both teams both quarterbacks, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, they both needed a new destination, and it worked. We got 2 first-round picks, a compensatory pick, a third round, and then we got a former number 1 overall pick in Jared Goff, which, say what you want about Jared Goff, he provides something, stability, if you will, to a certain extent for the next 2 years. And for Matthew Stafford, people who say he's the problem, look at what he's done in his first year. And I want to address the people that say Super Bowl or bust. Because if they don't make the Super Bowl, I get that. Because it is Super Bowl for bust for a lot of these good teams. If you don't make the Super Bowl, it is essentially a failed season. But when you're talking about Stafford and you're talking about the Rams, if they win a playoff game this year, that's the step for me. They just need to win a playoff game, and I think Matthew Stafford already shuts up the haters. I don't know if it's a Super Bowl or nothing. I mean, it is mentally for these players, but for the media, I mean, you're still going to look at next year for the Rams and how they can build off of it. The whole Stafford thing, I mean, I never understood that. You just read off the stats and what we were without Stafford. And I like how Pistons Talk put it, because I agree with him. He was essentially the glue, holding this very, I don't want to say the word, but crappy. It's like a little construction project. It's all glued together, and it's falling apart. And you got Stafford. He's the glue. And without him, it's a piece of you-know-what. So, and that's what we've witnessed. I mean, we have Jared Goff, and he's Jared Goff. But Matthew Stafford, from a Lions fans' perspective, I don't know how other Lions fans feel, but watching him, what he's doing in L.A. made me appreciate him even more for being here and for 12 years and having to put up with whatever he's had to put up with. And now he's with Sean McVay, and Sean McVay just loves the guy. And you just nailed it with what he said. Talking about, I've learned more about him in the last, the losing stretch than I did in the 7-1. And just him saying that and understanding that Les Snead, Sean McVay, they believe in Matthew Stafford so much, obviously, that they gave up the capital. But not even that. Like, when you're losing games, still putting the ball in his hands and saying, go win us games, man, and it's working. They beat the Arizona Cardinals, and they're not done. I think that story's unwritten still. So
I see in the chat, it's MMM. I wish you had a real name on the chat, but way too early to tell who won. No, both teams won, guys. This was a good trade. The Rams clearly upgraded at quarterback. Anybody who tells you they didn't is either on drugs or they refuse to accept that Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. It's one
There's
of
a
the two.
lot of those.
And I totally lean on that they're on drugs. Having said that, both teams won. The Rams upgraded at quarterback. The Lions got draft capital.
And that's
now,
what a good trade is.
Now, in 2-3 years, when the Lions actually make picks with the Rams picks, if they bust, well, then you look at the Lions, you're like, oh, how do you blow that? But if they hit, well, Lions are happy. It's a good thing. So, no, both teams won. You don't need 2-3 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
Both teams won the trade. The Rams are much happier with Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford right now, and the Lions are happy to have the draft capital that they have. It's that simple. You don't need 2-3 years to figure it out.
And why do people, I've seen this a lot, and it's always the comparisons that, well, Jared Goff is on a bad team. Who cares what situation he's quarterback in? The fact of the matter is Matthew Stafford is an upgrade, and everyone agrees on that.
Okay, let's say I want to take you seriously. And when people say that, well, Jared Goff just as good as a quarterback, if not better than Stafford, because he won.
Or they say he's on a bad team.
And he won the division. Well, all right. So Stafford, playing for a horrible franchise for 12 years, managed to win on average 7 games a year. Jared Goff, in his 19 games since he's left Sean McVay, with or without him, won 18-1. Or 117-1, excuse me.
Right.
Stop it. Stop with the Goff Stafford thing. All right? The truth is both teams won the trade. The Rams upgraded at quarterback, and the Lions got draft capital. If you don't see it any other way, you're delusional. I can't help you. I really can't.
I think, though, the results that will to come, like if the Rams obviously win a Super Bowl or 2, whatever they do in the future, and if whatever the Lions do, I think you can kind of make an assessment.
What does that have to do with the Lions? The only thing that plays out if the Rams go on and actually accomplish something significant like winning a Super Bowl, all that says is it's a big smack to every Detroit Lions fan. Because what it tells me is that the Fords could not put together an organization and a head coach and a team around Matthew Stafford that could have delivered such success. That's what it tells me, and I already know this. I don't need them to win a Super Bowl to know this. It's night and day difference, guys. So stop. Enough. I mean, look, you guys want to... I know Lions fans were happy for a 3-week stretch that Stafford was playing bad, and oh my God.
I wasn't happy.
They were more happy that Stafford was playing bad than the Lions were even playing a football game. It was unbelievable to watch. I love Twitter during those times, but enjoy those 3 weeks. Latch onto them, because if anything about last night is true, the Rams are a good football team, and they're going to be a problem. They can still win their division. The Cardinals drop one game, and the Rams catapult into first place. Watch out.
Well, while we're talking about the Rams and players that people thought were an issue, were the Browns wrong to cut OBJ? I saw a lot of players come out last night saying OBJ wasn't the problem. He's proven it right here. What are your thoughts, Adam?
So this is super interesting regarding Odell Beckham. Cleveland messed up here. And I don't know if it's an indictment on Odell Beckham or Cleveland on why that relationship could never work out. Whether it was Kevin Stefanski's system, etc., etc. All I know is when you have a receiver that has the caliber of talent and ability that Odell Beckham has, you find a way to get him involved. And the relationship deteriorated. Odell Beckham was not playing like himself. That's a fact. And he was not healthy. And he goes to the Rams, and he's now on his best behavior. Robert Woods magically gets hurt. He now has 3 touchdowns in as many games, and he's playing pretty well. And he doesn't even know the playbook yet. Look, I was one of those people that said, look, Odell Beckham, I'm sorry. You need to prove it.
Right.
You're not proving it. Why should I believe you? I believe you. I believe you. And the fact that he's on his best behavior, I mean, we talked about this.
Yeah.
Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay. That's a locker room of presence. He was going to have to fall in line there. He had no choice. But it's good to see him. I'm actually very happy for Odell. And Baker sucks. Can we kind of can we stop?
I've been saying
Cleveland
Baker
media,
sucks.
Cleveland media, if you need me to come work there for a week, I will. I will
Go
make sure
help
the
him
get rid
out.
of Baker train is running in a week. Give me 1 week in Cleveland.
And that's the difference, I think.
I don't get it. The dude's a bum.
Yeah.
He spends more time doing
Start
State Farm
Keenum.
commercials or whatever the hell they are. Progressive, I don't even know. I skip past all the ads anyways. But regardless, what is this? Spends more time running commercials than figuring out how to be a good quarterback, how to get his progressions all figured out, how to drop back and use actual proper footwork. Dude, you're not Kyler Murray. You're not Patrick Mahomes. You won a Heisman. Congratulations. Doesn't translate. How about you act like a professional quarterback? And that's the problem with Baker. Everything needs to go right for Baker to look good. But when things are down or there's a little bit of adversity, he folds like a lawn chair. It's unbelievable. He's so bad.
Yeah.
Cleveland, I got you. Guys, if you don't mind on the show, for the next week, I will run the Baker Mayfield out of Cleveland train. You guys let me know. We'll have 2 segments every hour.
The train starts in Detroit.
It'll start in Detroit and make its way to Cleveland. I know they can't spell in Ohio, so I'll figure that out for them.
Oh,
But
wait.
we'll figure it out for Cleveland. They got to get rid of Baker.
Fish, you're not defending your dog pound right now. I'm not hearing any Ooh. Well,
That better?
Well, I thought, do you like Baker?
He's okay. I mean, not really doing it for the Browns.
All right.
The people were pissed when they went for it on that 4th down against the Lions and they missed it. So.
Well, there you have it, straight from the
Okay,
Brownie's
so
mouth.
Pistons talk brought up Odell Beckham since how much time do we have? Oh, we have to go to break. But still.
I mean, you're fine.
1 minute. He brought up the OBJ celebration. I had no idea what the hell that was when it happened. I didn't know that it was the Detroit Dust touchdown celebration from that little security guy.
Yeah,
whatever his
that's-
name is, the
that's
guy
what
that thinks like in real life, if somebody has a gun to your back or in front of you, that you're actually going to put your finger
You can,
inside of the trigger slot, 1, quick enough, and 2, like they're not going to pull it hard enough to shoot you.
Mm-hmm.
He was at the Pistons game when I went the other.
Listen, social media, people do a lot of stuff these days, but whatever.
They do.
Those are fake news.
Whatever.
Anyway, we have to go to break, which means Jeff gets to tell us about Lady Jane's.
Well, Lady Jane's, guys, let's be honest. We love football, and the season is upon us. So it's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play on the beautiful little flat screens they got in here. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. You can walk in anytime because it is wicked awesome.
It's that time of the year again. Time for our second annual Stuff a Studio with Woodward Sports. Last year, Metro Detroit came together to help make the largest single toy donation in Mott Children's Hospital history. This year, we make it even bigger. Stuff a Studio is happening December 13th through the 17th at the Woodward Sports Studios in Birmingham. The children in Mott Children's Hospital fight so hard all year. Now it's up to all of us to help bring a smile to their faces. So while you're out holiday shopping, make sure you pick up an extra toy or two and help us spread some love to Metro Detroit this season. We look forward to seeing you December 13th through the 17th as we stuff our studio with Woodward Sports and Myre.
Woodward Sports Network, let's go! Ho, 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 ho!
Putting on a show here, and that's how you answer. We love our sports. We just wish they'd love us back. Detroit sports for Detroit sports fans. Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show. We want to kind of pick up where we left off with OBJ. Jeff is a little triggered by a comment made in the chat. Jeff, you want to tell the people what's happening?
No, I'm not triggered. I wanted to bring up that, me and Adam talked about OBJ, and we kind of talked about it in the break, and just his progression. And we talked about him when he was cut from the Browns and the Browns organization. Obviously, the Browns, and let me get this straight. People that want to say he didn't look like he does now on the Browns aren't the same offense he's in right now. And they love to run the ball. OBJ, that was a bad fit once he got there to when he got traded there 2 years ago, I believe. So he got the 1,000-yard season, but he didn't look the same. Even when he had the 1,000 yards, I mean, it wasn't Odell that we've seen in New York. Like this Odell on the Rams, although the yards aren't necessarily there, you could see the explosiveness, at least the ability. He plays harder because he knows the ball has a chance to come his way, and that's what you love to see. Like the Stafford and Odell relationship, to me, in 3 games, has improved dramatically. And they had 2 years with Baker. 2 years.
You know what's crazy about that? It's not that they have chemistry. It's Sean McVay and Stafford are making a concerted effort to make Odell feel part of the team.
Hell yeah.
They could have easily said, dude, you don't know the playbook yet. We're just going to run you as a decoy. No, the fade route against Green Bay the other week. Well, was it against? Yeah. No, it was against Jacksonville. Excuse me.
Jacksonville. Jacksonville in their end zone.
Yep, the fade in Jacksonville. The single coverage yesterday against Arizona on the slant route. Come on. They're trying to make him feel part of the team. And look, I'm sorry. When you're Kevin Stefanski, and I love him, man, I really do. I think he's a really good coach. You can't miss like that. You can't tell me OBJ. And again, Stefanski had the power and the cachet to say it. But you can't come out and alienate him in that locker room.
Right.
And then ship him off. And he's sitting there behaving and scoring 3 touchdowns in 3 games.
And he had his best friend on the Browns.
I don't get it.
Can we address this now? We'll get to this. Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff. Everyone's talking about this. Is Baker Mayfield better than Goff?
This is one of the rare scenarios in my life where I'm going to, 1, not only defend Jared Goff, but 2, I mean, if you ask me if I would prefer to die at 27 years old or witness Baker or Jared Goff be my franchise quarterback for the next 10, 15 years, I don't care about my 50s and 60s. I'm not living my 30s and 40s with those 2 as my quarterback, so I'd rather die. Chalk me off at 27. Put on my tombstone, I hate Baker Mayfield and Jared Goff. That's fine. A hard pass on both of them.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
We can understand that if Jared Goff had Baker's offensive line, his run game, even a bit of his receivers. I'm not saying Jared would take him to the Super Bowl, but I mean, they're pretty comparable. I think Jared, he had the situation in Los Angeles. I think Jared's
smarter.
He is.
Baker looks like an idiot. And he talks like one.
Yeah.
He talks like a classless person. He's not a franchise quarterback. For all the crap I can give Jared Goff, deservedly so, him regressing the last 3.5 years, he still sits up there at the podium and talks like a quarterback, talks like a CEO, community work, professional, never in the news, for the wrong reasons. Stop it. Give me Jared Goff over Baker.
100%.
Stop it, people.
And Jared Goff's a turnover machine, but you could argue he's smarter with
Baker.
I was going to say he's smarter with the football still. I mean,
guys, when I'm sitting there as a GM and I'm checking off stuff of what I need in a franchise quarterback, the guy that I'm going to invest my reputation on. When I see a video of this idiot running away from the cops, him jocking off his jockstrap to Kansas on the sideline.
He's got beef with
That's not a franchise quarterback, and he was never going to be. Well, the players like him in the locker room. Well, Joik, how's that going, buddy? Oh, well, as long as they like him in the locker room. Well, they like the coach. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Oh, well, they like him. He's like one of us. No, I don't need the quarterback to be like my linemen or my DNs or my receivers. No, I need my quarterback to be the absolute leader of my team. And if he can't carry himself that way, I'm not interested. Sorry. Lamar Jackson, you guys want to throw him and give him crap? That's a leader. Regardless of he's injured right now, MVP season, I don't care. That's a guy that leads by example in the offseason, puts in the work. He's not in the news because he ran away from the cops or he's having beef with Colin Cowherd on Twitter. None of this. Stop. Stop it. Baker's beyond a horrible... It's not that he's a horrible person. I mean, he's not some murderer. Relax. Come on, guys.
Right. Immaturity a little bit.
But he's just immature, and he's not what you would consider a franchise quarterback. I'm sorry. And Cleveland, listen, after the show, I'm leaving, guys. I'm driving to Cleveland. I'm going to find a radio station, and I'm going to go on, or I'm just going to call in, and I'm going to find a way to get Baker out of Cleveland. For the sake of Cleveland. Those people suffer enough. And that's coming from a Detroit sports fan.
And I'm so glad, I'm not even a Browns fan, but the Browns didn't sign that extension, and they knew already, even the year he had last year, we're going to wait, and we're going to see. And you saw enough. I think the Browns will be in the quarterback. Case Keenum, they'll get anybody. If you can drop anybody in that offense, and at least they'll produce something. I mean, they'll get something out of somebody.
Kennedy Broadwell could be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns and be able to hand off to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt all game.
This is true.
Behind that offensive line.
I love me
and
some
she
Chubby.
could maybe make a few passes. Stop.
True.
Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Oof, oof.
I don't ever want to hear that chant on the show again. I swear to God, Fish, I will break your mic. All right? I do not like the state of Ohio. I don't like the city of Cleveland. Don't you dare. Don't insult the show and the viewers at home with those chants, please.
Well, it's funny how the Cleveland Browns, too. I got to add this because Pistons Talk mentioned it, and I've heard this everywhere, and it's honestly funny to me that Baker Mayfield is Johnny Manziel without as much off-field antics. And it kind of makes sense. And the Browns drafted them both, so if you're a Browns fan, I'm sorry.
Good old Johnny
I'm
football.
Sorry.
You know, we talked about people I'd like to punch in my lifetime. Blake Griffin, Dave Bing. I take a shot at him after those comments he made. Those are two people that come to mind. Baker Mayfield, starting to put it up there, guys. Starting to get up there. No, they say it's never good to hit somebody. I think I have a good reason. Especially Blake Griffin, who I can't believe you think is handsome.
I think he's handsome. I can't help it. Kendall Jenner thought he was handsome. I think I'm allowed to think he's handsome.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly why she dated him.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah.
We got to go to break, and that means we get to hear about our friends at Gypsy Vodka.
I would need 15 bottles of Gypsy Vodka to even consider saying Blake Griffin is cute. Or handsome. What a joke. Guys, Gypsy Vodka is gluten-free and corn distilled 6 times using artisan spring water. Support our local brothers here in Michigan, Mike and Adam, Michigan State alumni. Fun fact. Try a bottle today and ask for it by the name of Gypsy. Again, that's Gypsy Vodka. Ask for it by the name of Gypsy. And as always, please drink responsibly.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show. We took a look at the NFC yesterday, but today we want to take a look at the AFC playoff picture. So here we have it. At 9-4, we have the Pats, the Titans, and the Kansas City Chiefs. At 8-5, we've got the Baltimore Ravens, and so that's like what the 4 are looking like right now.
Yeah, so the 4 division leaders.
Correct.
Leaders in the AFC, the Patriots in first, the Titans in second, the Chiefs in third, and the Ravens in fourth, and then you have the wild card.
The wild card, where it's Chargers, Colts, then Bills.
And here's what's crazy. The Colts, the Bills are 6-7.
And so are
record-wise, like
the Browns,
in the
Bengals,
standings,
and Broncos.
And their record is 7-6, which is the same as, like you just mentioned, the Browns, Bengals, and Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a heck of a race. And don't rule out these three teams. The Steelers at 6-1, who have a tiebreaker over these teams. So if they win a game and one of these teams drop, they're moving up.
I swear, if that tie helps them,
It's going to help them. It could potentially
not the tie
help them.
against the Lions.
And then you have 2 6-7 teams who I think one of them are frauds, which is the Raiders. Their head coach looks like he should not be coaching in the NFL. I don't even know how he has a job, but regardless, that's fine. The Raiders are 6-7. They'll probably finish the season 7-10. And then the Dolphins, I like. Watch out for the Dolphins.
Yeah,
I
watch
like
out.
them too.
Defense peaking. Tua playing pretty well. I like
My
it.
boy Liam's on the team. My Notre Dame boy. Liam Eichenberg, everyone. Look him up. He's awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure
We're-
he's
we're
awesome.
friends,
Yeah, we
actually.
have to look him up to find out how awesome he is. Notre Dame people. Yeah. Have to look him up.
Anyway,
Don't bring up Notre Dame. You know I do not like them.
but we're actual friends in real life, you cow.
That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. I didn't tell you to be friends with people who go to Notre Dame.
My bad.
You chose this life.
I did.
Kennedy Broadwell, can I ask why you called him a cow? You do realize he's clipping the radio audio today. You can make his life way miserable.
That's true. I could have called him something
Yeah,
else.
you know, and I can come off here and do things I shouldn't do.
Yeah, he
So,
could strangle me if he wanted. No, just kidding.
listen,
He would
there are-
never.
Things happen behind the scenes, Fish. Don't remember that.
But anyway,
Remember, I threatened you for a good year that I'd shank you.
Yeah.
I haven't
This
done it
is
yet.
true.
I know, I'm still waiting.
Still waiting, buddy.
It's
Watch
been
out.
1 year and a
It's
week.
tomorrow.
Actually,
Listen,
it's been a week today. and
You
a
don't
year.
mute that mic in the right amount of time when we go to break. Could get shanked, buddy.
Okay.
I know, okay.
But anyway, like
Let's
we
talk
said,
about,
AFC race is tight. But who do you think is going to finish at the top?
So the AFC is a toss-up to me. I really don't know. The NFC is so top-heavy. You have the Packers, the Bucks. Those are the two clear teams. And in the AFC, I can't believe the Patriots are one at the top. I hate you, Bill. Let me reiterate that. I said it earlier in the show.
Right.
Bill Belichick, I hate you. And I admire you. The Titans are second, but I don't see them as the second-best team in the AFC.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are probably the second-best team. I'd say the Chargers are the third-best team.
Yeah, close.
And then
Yeah.
I'd go the Colts as the fourth-best team.
I agree with you.
And then the Bills maybe the fifth.
Yep.
It's so complicated right now. I think the AFC is totally up for grabs. I really
Definitely.
do. I really do, and I'm not sure where to project it going forward from here. It's going to be a heck of a playoff race. That's what I'm going to tell you from now. Going into the final week of the season, we're going to see teams falling, going up, going down in the standings. I'm all for it. And then wild card weekend is going to be, I think, probably the best weekend this year. Well, it's technically 2022, but it'll be one of the best football weekends we have had over the whole season. So watch out. It's going to be fun, guys. So many good matchups here.
And especially the Ravens, like they're number 4. I could see them falling and getting swapped out. I mean, the Bengals pick up momentum, especially they're 8-5 right now. Lamar Jackson probably out next week. If they lose next week, 8-6, and that AFC North picture is looking very, very interesting. Especially, I mean, I'm not going to say anything really about the Browns. Yeah, they won. They're 7-6, and they are trending upwards. I like the Bengals though in that division. So a lot of things could change to your point, but the Chargers are interesting. I don't think they'll overtake obviously the Chiefs, but this Thursday is going to explain a whole lot in terms of where the AFC West stands up. But yeah, to your point, I mean, a lot
If
of
you
these
had to pick a team that was coming out of the AFC this year, who would it be?
I'm going to stay consistent. I've picked at the beginning of the year. I picked the Chiefs. I'm going to stay with them, just so I'm not going to switch it. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Patriots in a Bucs Super Bowl.
All right, my dark horse, a team that I really believe can get out, is the Bills. But watch out for the Colts. Watch out. Don't be surprised if the AFC title game is the Colts Patriots, Colts Bills, whatever it ends up being. Don't be surprised.
Didn't they win a playoff game with Phillip Rivers?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No.
Or they lose
yeah,
their first
they won
game.
the wild card, and then they lost to the Bills in the division.
So they won.
That's
They
right.
won. They won a playoff.
Yep. So watch out. I like the Colts. I love the way they play. It translates come January.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at the Bills. Look, I still think they're one of the better rosters in the NFL. Their record may not say that, but I think Bills fans are still confident. And if you're a team that's winning your division, so right now it would actually be the Titans. You think the Titans want to host the Bills in the first round of the wild card at home? No, they don't. No, they don't. Watch out. Watch out for the Bills. I'm all for it. We can go to break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll talk to everybody in the chat, get their questions. And we'll talk a little bit of Dan Campbell and what he said yesterday too, if we have time.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Like Adam said, make sure you're putting your questions in the chat while I tell you what you should do this weekend. You should go to the Detroit Lions pregame on Woodward Sports. Woodward Sports will be live for the Lions pregame versus the Cardinals with my favorite, Jose Cuervo, at the Tin Roof in downtown Detroit from 11 to 1 p.m. Kickoff is at 1:05. Braylon Edwards, Ryan Armani, Maz, and Jade from Riff will be there to host the pregame live on Woodward Sports and 101.1 The Riff. And then, of course, like always, we've got Stick and Anson at the 2-minute warning watch party. After every single Lions game at the Brass Rail on Adams and Woodward, they start streaming live at the 2-minute warning of every single Lions game to get the crowd reactions and interactions. There will be DJs, drinks, and a Woodward VIP section with food and more. So make sure you stop by after every Lions home game at the Brass Rail in Detroit.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
What's the over-under? Should I tease? Who is the lock of the night? Make sure you're watching Woodward Bets to get the latest in sports betting and more. Woodward Bets daily on Woodward Sports.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Woodward Show. It's time to get into your questions. We've got some good ones in the chat already. I want to start with Austin. He says, Carson Wentz is a scrub, though. Adam, your thoughts?
I don't get this narrative. I feel like people throw out something early on in the year, and it just sticks for the whole year. I don't get the narrative. They started 2-5. They're now 7-6. He's got 22 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. He's not turning the ball over. Outside of the ridiculous turnover he had early on against, I believe it was the Rams, correct? Where he threw the ball away into the end zone. So he's made mistakes, but he hasn't made mistakes in almost 5-6 weeks now. He's been playing really good. They cost themselves a game against the Buccaneers. They were in it. I like the Colts. I like Carson Wentz. I think he's really rejuvenated under Frank Reich. So, look, I don't like the narrative. I really don't.
Yeah, especially when the narrative to begin with. I mean, the guy, when he was in Philly, obviously had Frank Reich as his offensive coordinator in the MVP conversation. And then, obviously, everyone just last remembers is, what have you done for me lately? And if you go off of that, you understand that his play this season, Jonathan Taylor, most important player. But you can't deny Carson Wentz has been balling to a certain extent. And with Frank Reich, was in that MVP conversation, like I was saying, and then obviously he got injured, the ACL. Nick Foles comes in and wins that Super Bowl. But the fact of the matter is Carson Wentz is no scrub. I hate when people get so quick to say that because his first year with this team, with the Colts, you get a good offensive line, you get guys around him, and he looks good. So I'm not going to sit here and say anything yet. I mean, give him a chance at least to go into playoffs and make some noise. So I think that's too premature to say he's a, what are they going to say? He's a scrub. I mean, it's ridiculous.
All right, I like Patty's question. She says, would you rather win a championship with Blake Griffin or Matthew Stafford? And D-Mac immediately replied, Stafford.
This one's
Blake
easy.
is a bitch.
Well,
this one's easy, man.
D-Mac answered.
Yeah,
D-Mac answered.
The mayor's
I agree with D-Mac.
I do too.
Stafford and Blake is
it would mean so much more. Like if Stafford won, you'd understand. Like this guy, his family.
Oh, it would drive the town nuts. Oh my goodness, Stafford won a Super Bowl. How'd we not do it with him? Huh? Idiots.
Yeah. Listen, if Blake Griffin, screw
All
that.
right, here's
Screw
a
that.
good one. Oh man.
I gotta answer
moving.
Piston Talk's question too.
Okay. Go for it.
What is it?
It said thoughts on teams calling the Pistons every week to see if they'll trade Jeremy Grant. And we've been talking about this for a while.
Get him out of town.
When you're a bad team and you have veterans.
Also, there was some
calling.
guy on Twitter that commented on one of my Kate posts and said that, or he replied.
It was under our live stream
show.
yesterday.
Yeah. And he said that Kate is no better than Jeremy. He's a number 3 at best.
Yep.
And I'm just like, there's
really
I gotta be nicer to people that I come across, because there really are some really stupid people that live in this country, and that live across social media. And it's like, you know what? Next time I see a person who has like a good conversation with them, I'm just gonna give them a hug. I don't have to listen to that crap.
One of the Pistons beat writers somehow saw that too and quote tweeted it and called him a dummy. So we were in the right there. I like Mike G's question. He says, Juicy, thinking ahead to the Lions draft and with the available draft class, who and what is on your wish list for the Lions' first 3 to 4 picks?
Well, I've been on record. I wouldn't have a problem if we didn't even address the quarterback position. Honestly, I would be okay with if we went, first overall pick. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson. I think we all mutually agree there. Second pick. If you don't have a stud receiver, go linebacker. Get a linebacker. And then the third pick, that's when you have to. If you don't pick a receiver with the second one, you're going to have to address it with the third one in the second round. So either one, late first or that second pick right after that, you take a receiver. And that last pick, I would like it to be a safety. That would be my preference, that fourth pick. You're going to need at least a secondary. I mean, listen, you got Aiden Hutchinson, you're building your linebacker, you got your wide receiver, you need a safety. Obviously, Tracy Walker's been balling, but Will Harris got some questions, Dean Marlowe, some questions. I mean, Bobby Price, some questions. So that's my first four. I mean, I would have no problem if it was all defense and one wide receiver. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think their first 3 picks are going to be edge rusher, receiver, linebacker.
Okay.
Not in that order. Who knows?
Yeah. The order
probably
is
edge, linebacker, receiver. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Depends who's on the board.
Let's see here. Mike says, Adam, is Dwayne Casey on bust alert, or is he part of the rebuild like Blash and Campbell?
I think even
look,
Blash
Dwayne Casey, I'm okay with tanking this year. I really am. I'm okay with him being this bad. Cade Cunningham is a hit. I think he's already an all-star caliber player. He'll be a star in a year or two. And a superstar probably by year 5, 6, 7. That's when most NBA players turn into superstars anyway, outside of a given few. So, no, look, the thing with Casey is you got to get your rotations right, man. And you can't be scoring less than 20 points in the fourth quarter on 8, 9, 10 different occasions this year. It's not good. It's not a good look. Yes, it's a sign of a young team, but you got to coach him up a bit. So, having said that, no, I don't think you fired Casey right now. I think it's premature. The guy's proven he can win in the regular season, especially in the Eastern Conference. The team we can all acknowledge is not a great team. It's not built for the playoffs.
Right.
So take a chill pill. Enjoy. Go get Holmgren or that other kid. I forget his name from Duke. You'll be fine.
Paulo. Paulo. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. You're going to get a top pick this year.
Yeah.
Chill. It's the NBA.
All right. Mr. Thomas says, Dan Campbell isn't an NFL head coach. Why keep him? No rebuild. Starts at 1-11-1. Then someone else said, Dan Campbell needs one more year. The hot seat doesn't start until 2023. And he responded with, no. I expect the Lions to look like an NFL team, damn it.
Yeah, Thomas is making a good point.
Yeah.
So, and that's not him just talking, just to be mean. No, he's making a good point. They don't look like a football team. They look like a football team for like maybe, 4 or 5 minutes during a game? Maybe 10-minute stretch, who knows? Maybe a whole quarter if we're lucky. Look, Dan Campbell's not getting fired this year, so stop with that, please. Next year, by Thanksgiving, I already put it on my calendar. I will be more than happy to give a definitive answer on Dan Campbell. And if they're 1-11-1 by this time next year, I think you guys can answer that question for yourselves.
All right. Clomp Sauce. Sorry if that's not how you're supposed to say that. He says, are the Wings back on track tonight? They're taking on the New York Islanders.
Look, I like them, but I don't like the money line. It's only plus 100. It's not enough for me to put money on it. I'd like it at like 150, 180. But, yeah, who knows?
I say they're back on track tonight. They're at home, and they've got Tyler Bertuzzi.
They won their last 4 games at home, though, right? I think that's their record currently. They're on a 4-game win streak at home. So
at home.
Yeah. Well, it's the Islanders. Islanders are a decent team. Look, who knows? Raymond shows up tonight, maybe gets a Hattie. That'd be nice.
I think Bertuzzi comes back and lights it up.
Yeah, he's going to be rusty. We'll see. Pistons have options, though. So, to everyone freaking out about Dwayne Casey, they have options. Relax. Yeah. Relax. Troy Weaver's at the helm. He's nailed on 3 out of his first 4 first-round picks. Killian Hayes hopefully develops. It's all good. It's all good. Take a chill pill. The Pistons have given you success in recent years. And I mean 10, 15 years. This isn't a 58-year process. You can give them time. You can give the Wings time. They have Yzerman. The Tigers have A.J. Hinch, the best manager in baseball. They will win the AL Central this year. It's going to be a good year for 2022 for Detroit sports, probably outside of the Detroit Lions. What a surprise.
Steven says that the Lions sure look better than the Jags, Jets, and Texans. Do you agree with that?
Really. The Jaguars, maybe you can make a case.
Yeah, the Jets have some good wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but the Jets
certainly
have
not the
wins, but
Jets.
they do look awful.
Yeah.
Look, they all suck. I don't know what we're comparing here. Like you're gonna pound your chest and put it out. We're one of the best, worst teams in the NFL.
Woo!
Get it done.
Super Bowl!
Super Bowl 2021.
We're flexing because we're the best out of the worst.
Moral victories.
Standards here, please God. One day I can wake up and this town actually expects something out of this football team.
One day it'll happen.
One can dream.
I know, it's hard.
Jesus.
All right, you guys. Well, that has been the Morning Woodward Show for the day. Coming up next, we've got Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Joik Bell, Darren McCarty. You know the drill. Make sure you stick around for that. Also, make sure you guys come in here if you can. Donate some toys for the Mott Children's Hospital in Ann Arbor. All right, that is all for me. Big D Energy coming up next. Stick around. We will see you right back here tomorrow.